Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, Americans.
It's Tuesday. I just thought I'd let you know it's not Monday, but even though it probably feels very much like it is.
Okay.
It is not. Yesterday was Monday. Got that out of the way already. So it's all downhill from here. And we've got another bingo card, fresh and brand new, pinned to the top of the page of Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Unleashed? Yep.
Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Where you go often.
Right? That's why they call me Mr. Twitter. Is it not? We start in the upper left-hand corner with Pat can't watch a video without repeatedly stopping to interject. That'll happen in moments.
Oh, yeah. I know which one, too.
Keith averts a Pat meltdown with a happy video or story.
I don't know. That's a tall task in 2022.
Yeah, it really is. Might be too much to ask. Taught their English to our young from Indian Reservation. Biden, what am I doing here?
What am I doing here?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
Being terrible.
Jeffy mentions sky waitresses. Allegations pressed on your name. Of course, the scam thing, the phone call. Sounds a little something like this.
And once it get expired after that, you will be taken under custody by the local police.
Taken under custody.
As there are 4 serious allegations pressed on your name at this moment.
4 serious allegations pressed on my name.
But that's
at that moment.
But that's not until once it get expired.
Right.
You gotta.
That's right.
First, they gotta get it.
Yeah, you can't forget that part.
Then you
got the allegation. 4 serious allegations pressed on my name.
Oh boy.
And then we have, and there it is. What I was simply saying is from Barack Obama. Out to lunch and not coming back for dinner. Then we have peoples.
Peoples.
Because, of course, people isn't plural enough. Some people have to add peoples to it. Jeffy, I'll tell you that. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. We were.
I'll tell you that. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's like, I'll tell you that.
We were going over the card after the show yesterday, and Jeffy kind of demonstrated for us, and he says it.
Yeah. It's about optics, not safety.
This is just about optics. It's not about safety.
Okay. Overtime topic suggested. Oh, the HAL 9000.
All right. There it is.
I love me some HAL 9000.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Okay. There's also
this conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
It could be that one, too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's a classic movie. Weird, and I don't understand it, but it's a classic.
Oh, good. So it's not just me.
2001: A Space Odyssey? No, it's not just you.
Okay.
That's everybody. Keith, that's Corby's book title.
Yeah. Corby
should have let you say that.
No, he's coming up with a book title all the time.
CIA substation at the Blaze from Alex Jones. Too soon? Is it too soon? A new Biden gaffe. Oh, my. Another free square.
I was about to say.
Essentially another free square. Somebody lasted longer than CNN Plus.
I don't know. Like a sneeze attack lasts longer than CNN Plus.
Then we got the libs screaming in a car.
Could this year get any worse?
Yes, Puddin', it could. It can. It did.
Had to make it to 2021.
I know. How rude of her to die like that. She should have called that chick first. Said, "Hey, is it okay with you if I die in 2020? Or what do you think? Should I hold out for a while, suffer a little bit longer, and then, just so it can be Biden making the appointment, not Trump's appointment? Should I do that?" Yeah, she should have called. I don't know why she didn't. That was weird. Keith.
Yeah, go make the sex with yourself. It's just an FCC friendly way of telling someone what you'd like them to go do.
Sure.
Point of personal privilege.
Then we have that. Yes. Okay. Middle class Joe, Jeffy, no kidding, and Chicken Too Tasty.
Yeah.
Rounding out this week's
Good
bingo
card.
card. I think it's going to be a fun one.
4 days.
Yeah, we got to get down to it. And
I'm just looking at that stack while you're going through the card. And I'm thinking, oh, there's at least 3 in there right there.
Right here at the top, we might have something or two, a thing or two. We're going to give Joe credit where credit is due. He did talk about the truth about democracy.
Yeah, he did.
Here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we remember and we reaffirm freedom is worth the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Democracy is not perfect. It's never been perfect. But it's worth fighting for.
So is that a truth or a gaffe?
No, maybe he's finally telling the truth. It's never been good, and that's why it doesn't last. And that's why we're not one.
Right. But for him, it's a gaffe.
Yes. Yes, it is. Then he had this moment, which is unbelievable. See if we can stick with him here. Make it all the way to the end, because it's going to be difficult.
Trauma Hospital in New York, whatever the largest trauma hospital is.
Okay, so talking about a trauma hospital in New York. I don't know what it was, but the largest one. So he's giving himself some leeway there. Like, nobody can pin this down to what hospital it was, because whatever hospital people think it is, that's not it, because this didn't happen, I'm guessing.
And I sat with a trauma doc.
Okay.
And I asked him, I said, what's the difference? Why are so many people, not that many more people are being shot? This is now 20 years ago, or 25 years.
Okay, so this is 25 years ago, 20 or 25 years ago, and a trauma doctor, he's having a discussion apparently with a trauma doctor, and he's asking him why people don't live when they get shot in the chest, I guess, because they used to all the time.
I said, why are they dying? And they showed me a X-ray. He said a 22 caliber bullet will lodge in the lung.
So a 22 caliber bullet will lodge in the lungs.
And we can probably get it out.
They'd probably get it out.
And save the life. A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body.
Did you get that? A 9mm bullet.
Wow.
Blows the lung out of the body.
Wow.
Which is why we see lungs scattered everywhere.
Oh, no.
I can't drive to work without running over a bunch of lungs.
That's what those are.
And I was thinking, why are there lungs everywhere?
Okay.
Now we know. Well, somebody got shot with a 9mm bullet and it blew their lungs out of their body. I hate when that happens. I wish it would stop. I do. But there's more.
So the idea of these high caliber weapons is there's simply no rational basis for it.
No rational basis.
About self-protection, hunting. And remember.
Okay, so he's throwing in self-protection now and hunting. Because he still doesn't understand the Second Amendment.
The Constitution, the Second Amendment, was never absolute.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no. I have not heard this clip, and now I'm angry.
Okay. Shall not be infringed.
Oh, no.
Sounds about as absolute as you can possibly get.
Exactly.
Shall not be infringed.
Oh, my.
That's pretty dang clear. That's pretty absolute. And yet he keeps saying this over and over and over. And then he's got another classic line that he loves.
You couldn't buy a cannon when the Second Amendment was back.
How does he get away with continuing that lie? Yes, you could buy a cannon. And they did buy cannons. Would somebody please clue this brainless moron in on the fact that the Second Amendment is pretty absolute, and yes, you could and can buy cannons.
I swear.
Agonizing.
Like I said, I've not heard this. If I hear the deer don't wear a Kevlar vest, I'm going to start throwing things.
That's the only thing missing from this BS babbling of his. Is he didn't do the deer with Kevlar on in the forest.
You couldn't go out and purchase a lot of weapons. And those who, not many are saying it anymore, but there was a while there where people were saying that, you know, the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots. And
dumb people were saying that, like Thomas Jefferson. What a buffoon. Why would he say something like that?
Yeah.
Just people that you don't want to listen to.
I noticed he skipped over the tyrants part, but okay.
Right, because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
What we have to do is have to be able to take on the government when they're wrong. Well, to do that, you need an F-15, you know? You need a Abrams tank. I mean,
isn't he kind of... he's sort of contradicting himself here because on the one hand, nobody needs an AR-15. On the other hand, you would need heavy weaponry in order to take on the government. Yeah, that's why we need the guns, moron. That's what we're saying. If we're to take on the government, we need some weaponry. Or if any other invading force ever tries to occupy the United States of America, we need weapons that will do the job. Now, we're probably not going to have Abrams tanks. We're probably not going to have nuclear weapons or F-15s, but we are going to have guns. And that makes it incredibly difficult for an occupying force, for any occupying force. Oh, he's such a buffoon.
So it's just, I think things have gotten so bad.
Yeah.
That everybody's getting more rational about it. At least that's
no. He's not becoming more rational. He's becoming less rational every day. Wow, there's a lot there. An awful lot there. And it's fascinating that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He continues to spew the same lies, the same dumb reasoning that he's been using, and it just doesn't work. And it's hard to believe. If this was us spewing lies every single day, we wouldn't be on the air anymore. How much more important is it for him to at least speak the truth, to at least know what you're talking about? He's the president of the United States of America, and he's never held accountable for this. Could somebody please hold him accountable for this? Somebody please tell him he's lying? He doesn't know what he's talking about? Is there anybody in the media that will challenge him? Our Second Amendment depends on it because they've got a lot of momentum right now, and they're going to try to push this thing through. They're going to try to end. In fact, there's a John Paul Stevens speaking out again about the Second Amendment, that it needs to be repealed. Wow. Okay. How about no?
Well.
Plus, there's a bunch of copycat kind of things happening now, too, as the crazies always come out after one of these things. Uvalde gunman also threatened rapes and school shootings on social media on the app Yubo in the weeks leading up to the massacre. So there's many warning signs.
Yeah, and also, there's video out there of him with a bag of dead cats.
Oh, man.
But no warning sign. You couldn't have seen this coming.
No,
you couldn't have seen it coming.
Jeez. He told girls he would rape them, showed off a rifle he bought, and threatened to shoot up schools in live streams on the social media app Yubo. Not familiar with Yubo. Are you?
No. You're Mr. Every app.
Social media app? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But those users, all teens, told CNN that they didn't take him seriously until they saw the news that he'd gunned down 19 children and 2 adults at an elementary school in Uvalde. 3 users said they witnessed him threaten to commit sexual violence or carry out school shootings on Yubo. It's an app used by tens of millions of young people around the world.
Wow.
And this is the first I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, I'm out of touch.
The users all said they reported the account to Yubo over the threats, but it appeared, they said, that he was able to maintain a presence on the platform. Okay. CNN reviewed one direct message, Yubo direct message, in which he allegedly sent the user a $2,000 receipt for his online gun purchase from a Georgia-based firearm manufacturer. Where's he getting all that money?
That's a great question. Same thing with that nice truck that he was driving. That
I thought they were supposed to be poverty-stricken.
When you place an order like that online, they ship it to a local gun dealer. And then when you go there, you're supposed to be able to pass a background check.
Right.
He didn't have a driver's license. He didn't have this. Like, his grandfather said he didn't even know how to drive.
Thus the crash into the ditch.
There's so much to be answered. And I tell you, man, I don't even remember the last time I was that angry as that press conference on Friday. Oh, my goodness. You don't ever think the government is coming to save you.
Because they're not.
They're not
coming.
The most obscene, and I know we're going to get into it, but my gosh, just how do you have faith in any level of government? Any level.
It's hard. It's really hard. Let me tell you about Omega XL. We have a lot of joints in our body, 360 of them from our heads down to our feet. And they take a beating with daily activity and of course, aging. And that's why your joints begin to hurt, because there's a lot going on there. Plus, there's the SPM problem. SPMs are nature's way of keeping joints healthy. But as we age, we don't produce enough of them. And that could be why you're in pain. Now, Omega XL can restore your SPMs and rejuvenate joints and muscles and take away that inflammation. And you could be out of pain again. Try Omega XL. Go to omegaxl.com/Pat. When you buy your first bottle, they're going to give you a second one for free. So you buy one, you get one free. omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So we have this Uvalde timeline now that was released Friday afternoon. I think it creates more questions than it answers. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know why they waited so long.
No, I mean, it's that sheriff, right?
Yeah.
Arredondo, who made the call.
I guess so. First of all, they said the call was made on site. Now they're saying that the sheriff made the call. Was he there? Was he on site?
Yeah. I mean, that.
Okay.
I want to know if he had. What I need to know is, did he know about the 911 calls coming into dispatch? Was there no radio communications? If there's an update on this, I haven't seen it.
Me neither.
But McGraw said this was his call, and that's the DPS guy, and he said, yeah, he waited. I mean, it wasn't until the Border Patrol guys, showed up, the BORTAC.
The special unit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And after waiting around for half an hour, they're like, screw this, we're going in. It's just madness, man.
It is. Sure is. So at 11:27, the exterior door is propped open by a teacher. Oh, man. The one where the shooter entered was propped open.
Yes.
So that's why. It probably was locked. Well, obviously it was locked because he propped it open.
That's the other thing
my gosh.
I haven't heard the answer to. Was this a cigarette break? Was this was it too warm in there? I mean, the weather's been nice. It was last week. So I have no idea what. Again, if there are updates on this, I have not seen them as far as why the door was propped open.
At 11:28, the suspect vehicle crashed into a ditch near the school. Also at 11:28, a teacher runs to room 132 to retrieve a phone, runs back to the door. The door is left open. Wow, could have all been averted. Just close that stinking door.
Precisely. Yes.
Oh,
that's why we need to find out many things. Were there communications in the hallway later?
That really hurts.
Why was the door open? There's so much. I mean, it is just a series of insanities here.
Two men at a funeral home at 11:28, hearing the crash, move toward the scene. They see a man exit the passenger side of the car with a gun and a backpack. They start running back, after which the shooter fires at them but misses. 11:29, teacher panics, goes back in the school, apparently to call 911. Then 11:30, the call to 911 reporting a crash and a man with a gun. Apparently didn't close the door behind them or something.
Right.
Upon hearing the report, the school resource officer immediately races toward the school. At 11:31, the suspect reaches the last row of vehicles in the parking lot. Hiding behind a vehicle, he fires at the building. School resource officer drives past the suspect and goes to the back of the school, approaching someone he believes is the suspect, but is actually a teacher.
I want to know where off campus the school officer was, too. I got lots of questions.
Yep. At 11:32, more shots are fired toward the school. At 11:33, the suspect entered the school.
Again, that teacher that panicked, like you said, went in and called 911.
Didn't close the door.
I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. Suspect began shooting in room 111 or 112. More than 100 rounds are fired. My gosh. 3 police officers at 11:35 entered the school using the same exterior door that was used by the suspect. They're shortly thereafter followed by 4 other officers for a total of 7 inside the building doing nothing. The first 3 officers went directly to the classroom door, which was locked. The suspect shot at them. 2 of the officers were grazed. More gunfire, 16 rounds. At 11:40, more gunfire. 11:44, more gunfire. Now, once they were grazed, they retreated and took cover. And then apparently didn't attempt to get back into the room again until the Border Patrol tactical unit got there.
Yeah, when the tactical unit got there at 12:15, that's when the sheriff told them to stand down, or the chief. It's a police chief, local there, told them to stand down. But at 12:16, you've got calls from kids inside the school.
Mm-hmm. Saying 8 to 9 students are still alive. Jeez. A girl in room 111 calls 911 but hangs up when another student tells her to. The suspect, believed to be near the door, fires again. This is at 12:21. 3 shots can be heard during a 911 call. So the guy is shooting for, I don't know, off and on for 45 minutes?
Yeah. Yes.
To an hour?
Mm-hmm. Even longer, really.
At 12:21, law enforcement moved down the hallway. At 12:36, 911 call lasting 21 seconds from a girl who had called before. The dispatcher tells her to stay on the line and be very quiet. The girl says the suspect fired at the door. Same girl calls 911, asking to please send the police now. This is just heart-wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
At 12:46, she says she can hear the police next door. And at 12:50, officers finally breached the door using keys from a janitor because both doors were locked. Yeah, you can't do anything about it if the door's locked, right? You're just stuck. Nothing you can do. No such thing as a battering ram. That's only a television thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Officers breached the door using keys. That is amazing. Suspect is shot and killed.
It's enraging. It's absolutely enraging. I want to know this Outback Oasis or Oasis Outback store where he allegedly picked up the gun. I want to know about the background check there. I want to know about the door being left open continually. I want to know if the cops, the 19 officers on the other side of the damn wall where kids are being massacred, did none of them think, hey, let's kick the door down. Let's sacrifice our lives for the kids that are obviously still calling. Did they not have radio communications in that hallway? There's so much here. And those poor parents and those poor children. I don't even know what to say. It's just so enraging.
And according to one of the Uvalde police authorities, they didn't go in because they were afraid they were going to get shot.
You signed up for the wrong job, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want you to get shot either, and I wouldn't want to get shot. But you got Kevlar vests. Go give it a try. Try to save some children.
They just went through 2 sessions of training in a situation such as this, and one of them was just 2 months ago in those very hallways.
My gosh. That's unbelievable.
And this police chief was a part of that. I mean, he ran the deal. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever. There he is.
Yeah, it's a bizarre situation.
So many questions.
I don't know. I mean, we had something similar at Parkland, if you remember. The cop who wouldn't take on the guy.
One guy.
But that was one. I mean, it wasn't 19 cowering behind cover. It was one guy. There were 19 people in there. Plus, they were holding back parents outside, parents who wanted to go retrieve their kids, go shoot this guy. One of the parents asked one of the cops, if you're not going to do anything, give me your vest. I'll go in and kill the guy. But no. And if they're not willing to do the job, why not? Why not give your vest to the guy? Give him your vest and your gun and say, go try it.
I mean, you're tasing parents in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You're handcuffing them.
Geez.
But yet this killer is having, his pick of the litter in there. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
But the parents are the threats out in the parking lot. I don't even know the last time I was as angry as I was on Friday afternoon during this damn press conference. It was the most horrific thing just to hear detail after detail after detail.
That's inexplicable, really, when you think about it. It's inexplicable. I mean, they're human beings, and they're going to have the same, fears that everybody else does. But you signed up for this, right? As a police officer. You got to give it a shot. And you're as careful as you could be, but you got the Kevlar vest on. In some cases, they had the shield, the ballistic shield in front of them. Well, use it. I don't know. An 18-year-old kid stopped 19 police officers from entering that room. Really sad. Really sad. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So now, we're having a bunch of copycat kids that are phoning in or texting or threatening schools in some way.
Yeah, I got a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah, one of them was 10 years old, and they took him into custody. They openly, in public, arrested him and perp walked him out to the cruiser, and I think they should. Mm-hmm. And they released the mugshot of the 10-year-old boy that they publicly arrested. He was arrested Saturday and charged with making a written threat to conduct a mass shooting after sending a text about Patriot Elementary School in Cape Coral. The boy's alleged text read, "I scammed my friend," and included a Google image of money, according to his arrest report. "I bought this," he said seconds later, and showed an image of 4 assault rifles. Hopefully, he just got that online. Hopefully a 10-year-old wasn't able to acquire firearms like that.
Who knows anymore? Who knows?
Who knows? Then he said, "Get ready for Water Day," referencing a recent school-sponsored event in which students participate in water activities like playing in the sprinklers. He described wads of cash and get ready to commit a mass shooting.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Well, the police captain said in a text, "We don't wait 1 second. We investigate every threat as if it's real. Every single threat is real. Every threat is real until you prove it's not."
Good.
He also commented on the boy's very public arrest, saying that fake threats result in real consequences. That's great. It's as it should be. If you want to stop these things, you better take it seriously when they start making these claims online, because often they back it up. So the sheriff says, "I did a campaign. Fake threat, real consequence. While I understand the boy is 10 years old, his brain's not fully developed. He's a juvenile. I have to tell you, when a 10-year-old presses a trigger, the aftermath is the same, regardless of the age." He also warned anyone who attempts a school shooting, saying, "You don't get to come into one of my schools in my county and present deadly force, because we meet deadly force with deadly force, without 1 second, without hesitation." It's not exactly how the sentence reads. What actually is written is, "Because we meet deadly force with delay force, without 1 second, without hesitation." Again, showing there's no such thing as good journalism or grammar or common sense in these articles anymore. Just so many errors on these things. If you think you're going to come and kill a child or a faculty member, think again. We will kill you immediately. Now, see, maybe there'd be less of this nonsense, of these tragedies, if you had more sheriffs like this guy. I don't know. There's also a woman with a pistol who stopped a man firing at a graduation party crowd with an AR-15. That's a fascinating story. We'll get to that in a minute. The left would have you believe that it's not a real thing, that a good person with a gun can stop a bad person with a gun from killing good people. Well, it just happened again. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray.
Welcome. Really great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Got some tweets here. Devin Crossley tweets, "If they try to take away the Second Amendment, it could be the end all to this country. We need some blockage to stop the idiots who want to take it away. Thank God for the states that believe in the Constitution and our rights." Yeah. Canadians seem like they're about to lose their guns.
Yeah.
We'll tell you more about that a little bit later. Mike Garrett tweets, from what I've heard through a news report, the door the killer entered the school was propped open by a teacher who was getting something from their car.
Oh, God. I had not seen that. Oh,
boy. Oh, no. DM, the entire police office, city council, and mayor should be on trial in Uvalde. I don't care about their outrage. This was utter failure from the entire leadership of that town. Uncle Jimmy tweets, there should be a red flag on this kid's record, and when he turns 18, it can be reviewed. But as of now, this kid should never have been able to buy a gun. There needs to be accountability. And proud Mr. Graybeard, one of the big problems is juvenile records are sealed and background checks don't show all the issues they had as minors. We must change that.
Yeah, keep them sealed until they become adults, and then it pops up in the system. I don't know how it works, but this ain't working.
No, it's not. It's a tough one. I think we have an answer, too, to the officers that supposedly rushed in to get their own kids and left the other kids.
Yeah, it sounded nefarious when we played that clip on Friday from CNN where the guy was like, yep.
But no, that wasn't the case, really. An off-duty U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent. So he's off-duty. He's in the barber shop, and his wife calls him and says, there's an active shooter at our school. She apparently is a teacher there. So she's under the desk with the rest of her class. Their daughter had locked herself into a bathroom. And so he got together with the tactical team that just arrived. And he said, look, I'm going to go in and get a bunch of kids out. And they said, okay, we'll take on the shooter. And so they coordinated their effort, and that's what they did.
Yeah, what is he sitting down for a haircut, and he grabs the barber's shotgun?
Oh, that's right.
Off.
Yeah, he took the barber's shotgun. Wow.
So great. I mean, that's the kind of hero we needed on site.
Yeah,
thank God he was
sure
there because he ended up clearing out a different wing.
Yeah,
altogether.
He saved dozens and dozens. It wasn't just his daughter.
Correct.
He saved all kinds of kids. Made sure they got out to safety. So 2 officers with guns drawn provided cover while 2 others guided dozens of hysterical children and teachers out to the sidewalk. When Alvarado finally saw his 8-year-old daughter, Jada, they embraced, but he kept moving forward to bring more students to safety.
God bless him.
I did what I was trained to do.
Yeah, I wish everyone else had too that day.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it'd be great. Said, I'm so angry, saddened, and grateful all at once. Only time will heal their pain, and hopefully changes will be made at all schools in the U.S., and teachers will be trained and allowed to carry in order to protect themselves and students. Yes. Yeah, it'd be great. Every time you suggest it, though, arming teachers or having somebody armed at the school, police, whatever, the refrain from the left is, we don't need more guns at school, we need less. Okay. What a simplistic, mindless point of view that is. So stupid.
Yeah, as Jack Windsor pointed out on Twitter, you know, they want protected borders and guns for Ukrainians so citizens can be free and safe. Mm-hmm. They call Americans who want borders and guns xenophobic and facilitators of murder. You figure it out. Yeah, I mean, they care more about Ukrainians that they'll never meet on the other side of the planet than they do kids in school, because as soon as you suggest we arm teachers or have cops running through the streets here or through the hallways, keeping an eye on the classrooms and stuff, my gosh, you're trying to set up a fort? Are you trying to make this a military base? Mm-hmm. Do you want the kids protected or not? It's so maddening.
And dangerous. I mean, the same things are going to keep happening. And go ahead and ban guns. See what happens. Of course, no, I don't want you to. But and it would be a catastrophe if they did. Mm-hmm. But they would find out it doesn't help the situation. You just have more of this, not less. What happens in the gun-free zones that we see all across the country? That's where all of this mass shooting stuff happens.
Yeah.
That's where it happens, because they know they're not going to be challenged. It's gun-free. Well, except for the shooter.
Yeah, I saw a thing where if you take out and this is in, Glenn's got the book Control, right? And it makes a very similar argument that if you take out the gun stats for Chicago, Detroit, I want to say Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and I think St. Louis. It's 5 progressive cities. I think it's those.
Yeah.
that, and I saw it again over the weekend on the internet, that like if you take those out, that America becomes one of the safest countries in the world.
Right.
You take out these, quote, gun-free zones where gun control is so strict. And do we have did I send the meme in to you, Rob, the abortion meme of the left's logic? Is that the one where it's got the lady talking about, there we go, look at that. If you outlaw abortions will just happen illegally, says the left. But if you outlaw guns, we will all be safe from gun crime.
It's so good.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
Wait a minute. Somebody sent me this stat here. I've got to read this to you from, let's see, this is Laszlo Tooth. Plano, Texas, 285,000 people and almost certainly more guns than people. Typically 2 to 6 homicides a year. St. Louis, Missouri, 292,000 people, probably fewer guns, typically 250 to 260 homicides per year.
Wow.
It's not the gun.
Right. Jeez. But here's a gun story the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about, won't tell you about, they won't talk about it because it's a good person stopping a bad person. Both of them had guns. An alleged attacker with an AR-15 was shot dead in Charleston, West Virginia, Wednesday night by a woman who was carrying a pistol for self-defense. Dennis Butler was armed with an AR-15 and allegedly shot at dozens of people attending a graduation party. Police indicate a woman pulled a pistol and shot Butler, killing him. He's the only one who died. Charleston Police Department Chief of Detectives Tony Hazlitt said instead of running from the threat, she engaged with the threat and saved several lives. None of the graduation party attendees were harmed. That's so great.
Another hero.
Yep.
With a gun.
And it shows what can happen, you know, if the right person is in the right place with a gun. And there are all kinds of these stories, if you're willing to look, but of course the mainstream media is not. Meanwhile, in Buffalo, feds are probing whether the retired federal agent had advance notice of Buffalo's supermarket massacre. Apparently, you know, the lunatic from Buffalo, he didn't live there, but that's where he did his shooting. He was on social media and talking about, you know, this is a racist social media platform, and they're all sharing how much they don't like BIPOCs, I guess, black, indigenous, people of color. And there was this retired federal agent online, and he heard the plans because apparently Gendron, the shooter, talked about it, and he didn't report it. According to the article, and I don't know that this is the case, but these were like-minded people who used this chat group to talk about their shared interest in racial hatred. Is that true? I don't know. I've never been there, but replacement theory and hatred of anyone who's Jewish, a person of color, or not of European descent, one unnamed law enforcement official told the Buffalo News. What's especially unsettling is that these 6 people received advance notice of the Buffalo shooting about 30 minutes before it happened. Nobody reported it. The FBI has verified that none of these people called law enforcement to warn them about the shooting. Now there's some question as to whether or not they'll be charged as accomplices because they knew about it in advance.
Wow.
And didn't report it. Hard to believe. Hard to imagine that you could have somebody ranting like that and telling you that they're going to kill people at a supermarket, and you don't say anything to anybody? Don't call the Buffalo police and say, hey, I don't know if this guy's just a crackpot, but here's what he said. Wouldn't you do that?
How difficult is that? I don't understand. If I see, and I've done this multiple times, a car maybe out here on the highway leading to work, the hazards are on, it's blocking a lane, I call the police and I say, hey, somebody's going to run into the back of this guy. It's a far right lane. It's right before such and such exit. You might want to get a patrol car out there to turn the lights on and block that lane. Somebody makes a threat like this, and earlier we talked about the app with the Uvalde shooter, and you don't take 5 seconds out of your day to call anyone so that you can, how do you sleep at night? mean, if you call the police and just say, look, like you just said, it may be nothing, but I just at least wanted to get this off my conscience.
But this guy's been saying this stuff.
Right.
He says that, he's going to go there now and do this. Might want to have somebody check it out.
And then it's on the police.
Yeah.
To say, we just didn't, we didn't follow up on that.
Unless these people, like the article says, really are like-minded.
All right, that's what we got to find out, right?
Yeah. 888-900-3393, also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. The dogs in our life are great. And, just as an example, here's one of those dogs.
Oh, yes. A dog video.
Playing baseball.
Down against Felipe Aguilar, a dangerous right-handed batter. Here's the pitch.
Nice.
Wow.
Look at that dog.
Wow.
That dog plays baseball.
With some power, too.
With some opposite field. Power. Yeah. Nice.
We all love our dogs. I mean, that dog, my dog can't do anything like that. Still love her, though. She's great.
You got to train her.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure she's got the smarts for it, really.
No, okay.
I don't think so.
She's more of a pinch runner.
Yeah. Maybe. Or a pinch barker. She'll go ahead and bark for you.
There you go.
But she's not going to swing the bat like that. We've been telling you for a while about rough greens. It changed my dog Belle's life for the better. Loves the stuff, incredibly picky eater, and then you sprinkle on the rough greens, and she just devours her meals. Rough greens is a supplement that you just sprinkle on top of whatever you feed your dog, and it's full of all sorts of vitamins and minerals and probiotics, antioxidants, pretty much everything your dog needs to be healthy and active. Most dogs absolutely love this stuff. Belle certainly does. Glenn's dog does. Stu's dog does. But if you want to make sure your dog is going to love it before you jump in with both feet, Rough Greens will send you a free small bag for your dog to try out for a couple of days. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Or call 833-783-3364.
Pat Gray returns.
Mo Brooks was on Fox News over the weekend, and he was discussing gun crime, and he really upset some liberals. You just hate to see this. But
back when I was growing up, we didn't have these mass killings, okay? They weren't there. They didn't occur. Or if they did, I certainly was not cognizant of them, and they were very, very, very rare, so rare that I cannot recall a single instance in which one of those things occurred during my youth. Today, they're much more common. What's the big difference between when I was growing up and today? The big difference is a decline in the moral values, a decline in the respect for human life. If we teach proper moral values, if we teach respect for human life, if we properly address mental health issues that may somehow or another be associated with all these things, then that is the way to fix the problem.
Okay, so to that point, this week you suggested just that, what you believe is behind the rising number of mass shootings in America. You said this: it reflects poorly on liberal policies that encourage out-of-wedlock childbirth, divorce, single-parent households, and amoral values that undermine respect for life. Mass killings that are common in America today were, as you just stated, when I grew up, a very rare thing. The way to prevent mass killings, you say, is to restore moral values. I'll dig into that more in just a second. But does that statement, sir, unfairly blame single-parent households in this country for the rise of mass shootings?
Brother.
Absolutely not. It blames moral values decline in the United States of America, and there are a lot of factors that have contributed to our moral decline. By way of example, all the studies I've ever seen suggest that children who are raised with just one parent around, they don't do as well by the time they become adults. Why? Because it's almost impossible for a single parent to do the kind of job that two parents collectively can do. It's just a numbers game. And there are a lot of single parents that do an excellent job raising their kids, but they are super parents. and I thank them for the effort that they've put forth in producing children who later become responsible adults. But unfortunately, the data is very clear. Those single-parent households, for whatever reason, end up resulting in children who are more likely to be on welfare, who are less likely to get the kind of grades you expect to get in school, who are more likely to be involved in drugs, and who, unfortunately, are more likely to be involved in criminal conduct. That's just the data. Now, that's not to say that all single parents do that, okay? That is not the data. We're talking about probabilities and tendencies, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% greater probability, that has an effect on society.
Yep. I mean, how do you argue with that? It's just a fact.
Yeah.
It's not an indictment on single parents, because, as he said, there's a lot of great ones who raise their kids to be really upstanding, moral people. But it's much harder. And it's just the moral decay of our civilization that has nothing to do with single parenting. I mean, we talked about that last week. There's one way to fix it, and that's to return to God and our morals and our values. And if we don't do that, this kind of stuff is going to keep happening. And worse, frankly. And I guess if you talk about that, they're going to beat you down. And I'm sure Mo Brooks is getting his share of nastiness now as a result of that.
Oh, yeah.
No, they hate his guts now.
Yeah.
Well, they hated him before. So, is he in a runoff now? What happened in his election? I think he forced a runoff.
Yeah, he's up in the Senate there, or in that Senate race.
Yeah, he's running for the Senate.
And I thought he won. Did he win outright? Am I wrong?
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. There's so many races that we were looking at. I can't remember if his was a runoff situation.
Yeah, it's a runoff June 21.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not paying to read the article there. Montgomery Advertiser.
Really? You're not going to buy a subscription to Montgomery Advertiser?
I'm not going to do that.
What a cheapskate.
Yeah, Republican runoff against Katie Britt.
Okay.
On June 21st.
Let's hope Mo wins. I like him. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's Porsche driving husband was involved in a 2-vehicle crash in California before his weekend arrest for drunken driving. Paul Pelosi, who's 82, was attempting to cross Napa County State Route 29 in a 2021 Porsche late Saturday night when he was in a collision with a 48-year-old man driving a 2014 Jeep. Paul Pelosi was charged with 1 count of driving under the influence and another for driving with a blood alcohol content level of 0.08 or higher. There were no reported injuries. Police report does not identify either driver as being at fault. However, the driver of the Jeep was not arrested, while Pelosi was, and booked at 11:44 into the Napa County Detention Center. He was charged with 1 count of driving. I think we just said that, right? Yeah, we got that. And he was released on $5,000 bail.
Oh, that's Paul makes that in an hour after a hot stock tip via his wife.
Yeah, please. That's like getting at 50 cents. Okay, here's 50 cents for my bail. That's what it's like. $5,000 to the Pelosi's. What are they? 100 million, 200 million, 500
It's a
million.
lot of gourmet ice cream in their freezer. I know that much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pelosi.
They're incredibly wealthy.
Family net worth. Let's find out, shall we?
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Hold on.
No, it's got to be north of 100 million.
114 million.
114. Okay.
Well, that's Nancy's.
Oh.
Net worth. No, I'm sure
if Paul's isn't included in there, it's a lot more than that.
They've been married since 1963. Did you see that?
What?
Yeah.
Have they really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a tribute to them. So good for them.
Yeah. So here's 202 million is an estimate. Yeah. They're having no trouble adjusting to the Great Reset.
Or coming up with $5,000 bail.
Or $5,000. Why? Okay. Somebody made this point, and it's absolutely accurate. If you're that rich, how do you not have a driver? How do you not call Uber? How do you have any issue with transportation?
Yeah, stupid. It's asinine. It just shows your disregard for other people and the law. As a matter of fact, Yeah, I'm going to drive anyway because I can. I mean, I'm Paul Pelosi. My wife's Speaker of the House. I can do what I want. It's just ego. It's just stupidity. And she was like, I guess she was still she was back east.
She was at
a
Brown University.
Browns commemorative thing. Yeah, she gave the commencement speech.
Boy, I bet that had some good nuggets in it. I should have watched that one.
Bet it did.
I mean, the words of wisdom, assuming you could understand what she's saying to begin with, I'm sure the words of wisdom were just...
And she sounds perpetually drunk, so...
How do you know?
How do you know?
Yeah, and I read in one of these stories that Nancy doesn't drink. Okay, shut up. Shut up. She drinks before every one of these little press conferences that she gives from the Speaker's office.
Nancy doesn't drink.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop. Don't.
All righty. They say the same thing about Biden, which makes it all the worse, really.
Right. You're like, whoa. You
could chalk that up to alcohol, but nope. No, he doesn't drink.
You want to actually have that excuse in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's cognitive decline, right?
Right.
It's the only explanation.
Oh, no.
So Pope Francis on Sunday announced the promotion of San Diego Bishop Robert McElroy to Cardinal, passing over the higher-ranked San Francisco Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone, who said earlier this month that he would bar House Speaker Nancy Pelosi from receiving communion. This is maybe a little payback.
Wow.
A little bit of a snub for him because he actually did what you would think he should do when you've got somebody going against the church's teachings like that. I mean, how much harm are Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden doing to the Catholic Church as supposed devout Catholics when they proudly proclaim that there shouldn't be any restrictions on abortion? How do you not restrict them from communion? It's amazing. That's amazing. And then the Pope passes him over because of it.
This is the same Pope who continues to not chime in on the Supreme Court.
Right.
And the abortion overturning of...
And seems to comment on every other thing going on in the United States. He wants to talk about gun control. He wants to talk about our border. Jeez. I'll tell you what. When you pull down your 60-foot wall around the Vatican, then we can talk about the U.S. border. Okay? You just knock that thing down. Let people come in as they please. I can't take it. Archbishop Cordileone congratulated McElroy on the promotion. He'll be formally elevated to Cardinal August 27th, St. Pete's Basilica in Rome. Cordileone wrote in a letter to Pelosi earlier this month, "You are not to be admitted to Holy Communion until such time as you publicly repudiate your advocacy for the legitimacy of abortion and confess and receive absolution of this grave sin in the sacrament of penance."
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. But apparently that cost him his cardinalship. I wonder if it did. I mean, seems like it, but you don't know for sure.
No, you just don't know.
You don't
for
know
sure.
for sure. Do
How
you?
could you know?
No. How could you know? You can't know. It's like the metric system. There's just no way to tell. Now, I'm not sure when the Supreme Court will make their ruling on abortion.
Should be soon, right?
Official. But here's a tweet from the Evangelical Lutheran Church.
Oh, yeah.
Should help clear things up.
They're good. ELCA?
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah. While the leaked draft does not represent the Supreme Court's ruling in its final form, nevertheless, it contradicts this church's teaching. This church teaches that abortion and reproductive health care, including contraception, must be legal and accessible.
Such a strange...
Isn't that weird? What a weird position for a church. What a weird position for them to have. Huh. All right. Whatever.
Not shocking, though, for those familiar with the different branches of the Lutheran Church.
True.
They
do some interesting things.
ELCA, baby.
And here's a new mom who might literally be possessed by a demon.
Oh, gosh.
Check this wonderful person out.
I could have killed you, but I chose to let you live. I chose to let her live. As in, I had a choice. all women should have a choice.
Do you realize what you just said? Killed. I cannot wrap my brain around this, no matter how I look at it.
If you don't want to use the word kill, that's fine. If you want to use the word kill, that's fine. When you use hand sanitizer, you kill germs. I could have simply chosen to let you not exist, but I let you exist. I let you form past the zygote phase.
Is that better?
So yes, I realize what I just said, and I stand by it. If you want to get an abortion, get an abortion. If you don't want to get an abortion, don't get an abortion, but don't try to oppress my rights.
Okay.
Oh.
Her rights to kill, as she admits. Yeah, that's fine.
That kid has no chance. That kid has no chance whatsoever.
And how would you like to be that kid and see that video later on in life and see that that's what your mother thought at the time? Talk about giving them wounds. Jeez. That's great. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm sure that kid will be fine. Yeah, it's just fine.
We might need to check in with the Catholic Church on exorcisms at this point.
Yeah.
Because she might be in need of one.
Yeah, she was creepy, frankly. She really was. The Nra Convention took place over the weekend in Houston. Antifa showed up, of course, and apparently doesn't like the idea of there being black babies because they stole a sign that said black lives are being aborted.
You can't. What do you mean? What do you mean? Your little poop.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There's America 2022. How dare you suggest that black babies are being aborted in this country?
Which they are at an alarming rate, at a disproportionate rate to white babies. So why is that not a problem? Isn't that weird? If you're not allowing more black women to abort their babies, you're racist? I'm sorry, I don't understand that. We want there to be more black babies born, growing up into black people, you know. How is that bad? How is that racist? The racist position is the opposite. When you don't want them to be born. When you're fine with the fact that more black babies are aborted in New York City than are born alive. That's the racist position.
The world is upside down, man.
Sure is. Yeah, it really is. And interesting, over the weekend, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just announced that his government is literally coming for your guns if its proposed legislation passes.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership.
Oh.
What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada.
In Canada.
Can I make them?
In other words,
no.
We're capping the market for handguns.
Yay!
Look at all the masked minions back there.
So stupid. Yay! We're going to be at the whim of the criminals now. Good.
Trudeau.
Good.
As a further part of this new legislation,
okay, let's
we're also
go further.
fighting gun smuggling and trafficking by increasing maximum criminal penalties and providing more tools for law enforcement to investigate firearm crimes. And we'll require the permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds.
Oh, wow. They can't hold more than 5 rounds?
Bro. Trudeau strikes again.
So now they're coming after handguns.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're coming after handguns. It's not the AR-15. It's not just the AR-15, although it's that too. But they're coming after your handgun now.
Yeah, I asked Renaud Gagné, who listens to this show up in Canada, and I said, is this going to pass, man? He says it's just introducing legislation, but with the leftist NDP party propping him up, they certainly have the numbers to pass it. Then it would be up to our unelected Senate or a lawsuit making it to our completely unreliable Supreme Court to defeat it. He said the Supreme Court recently, just the past week, unanimously struck down life without parole sentences, comparing life sentences for mass killers, including terrorists, to whipping them. So he's like
whipping them.
So he's basically
What?
saying there's no. I mean, this thing's going to totally pass. Maybe a lawsuit will stop it. But
wow.
Yeah. And here's just a brief history, of Justin Trudeau. Pat Head D. Lane said, "How to become a dictator. Step 1, ban free speech," which Trudeau did. Step 2, ban public assembly, such as churches. Yep. Step 3, ban public protests. Yep, truckers, right?
Oh,
Step 4, confiscate the guns. Here we go. So you
gosh.
ban free speech, you stop public assembly at churches.
Yeah.
You stop public protests, and then you go for the guns.
Gosh, that's amazing.
And that man's going to be there for how long? Several more years. Remember that little compromise, that deal he made?
Yeah. Yeah.
Canada?
Oh,
Bad
Canada. You're really screwed.
Wait, is that the new lyric?
Yes.
Oh, Canada.
You're really screwed. So I don't know why. I don't know why they stuck with this guy, but good luck.
Yep.
Good luck with it. It's interesting because they're starting to talk about handguns here too, which is what Biden was doing when he was talking about the 9mm.
Hahnemann Hospital in New York, whatever the largest trauma hospital is. And I sat with a trauma doc.
This is crappy video, but he's talking about he was at a trauma hospital in New York. It was the biggest trauma hospital. He doesn't know what it is, but he knows it was the biggest trauma hospital.
I asked him, I said...
Oh, and he was talking to a physician there.
What's the difference? Why are so many people... Not that many more people are being shot. This is now 20 years ago, or 25 years.
20, 25 years ago. And why do so many people die now as opposed to back then?
I said, why are they dying? And they showed me a X-ray.
Right.
He said a .22 caliber bullet.
Okay, 22. A .22 caliber bullet.
Lung.
You just lodge in your lung.
They could probably get it out.
And they could probably get it out.
May be able to get it and save the life.
Okay.
A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body.
But a 9mm handgun bullet blows the lung right out of your body. Oh, man, that is horrific.
Boy,
That must be, I don't know, can the lung fit through a small bullet-sized hole and just shoot out of that hole? Maybe the lung wraps around the bullet as it's exiting the body.
I don't know physics, bro. I don't know.
Neither does he, and neither did this doctor. Did he make this up completely out of whole cloth? That wouldn't surprise me one bit. But he had more.
So the idea of these high-caliber weapons is there's simply no rational basis for it in terms of about self-protection, hunting. And remember,
self-protection.
The Constitution, the Second Amendment, was never absolute.
The Second Amendment is about as absolute as it gets. It really is. Your right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed.
Is that right up there with the wall shall be built, though?
No, because it's in the Constitution.
I don't know that shall means what it used to mean.
It's actually in the Constitution, though, which should carry a little extra weight.
Should.
But obviously it doesn't with this brain-dead moron.
I'm telling you, man, we don't even have a functioning government at this point.
No.
I watched an interview over the weekend with Thomas Massey where he went through basically hour by hour of the early days of how the federal government responded to COVID-19. And we don't have a functioning government, period. I mean, we don't follow the law. We don't follow the rules. We don't follow anything.
And what, you think we should? Is that how picky you are?
At this point,
you want to start following laws?
Nah.
Constitutional
they have
amendments.
to apply to me too?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I knew you'd change your tune
It's
there.
madness, man. It's just, I don't even know how you look at your kids in the eye.
I know.
With a straight face and say, we're the freest country. We may be the freest country in the world, but I mean, is the bar, it keeps getting lower and lower and lower where that is.
Yeah, I don't know that we are anymore. But here's something you can do. If you're sick and tired of supporting major corporations that are woke and tormenting their employees and customers and funding organizations that seem to hate this country and its traditional values and the Constitution, well, it's time to switch your support to Patriot Mobile. They offer the same nationwide coverage as all the major carriers. But the difference is, with the major carriers, they're supporting abortion. They're supporting gun control. They're supporting all the things that you don't believe in, chances are. Patriot Mobile plans, they have plans to fit any budget, and their 100% U.S.-based customer support team provides exceptional customer support. And you get the same great service, of course, because they're on the same cell towers. And you know that by now. Everybody shares the same 4 towers. So there's the same great coverage. And Patriot Mobile shares your values and supports organizations fighting for religious freedom and for freedom of speech, for your constitutional rights, for sanctity of life. Get free activation when you use the offer code PAT when you go to patriotmobile.com/PAT or call 972-PATRIOT. Free activation with the offer code PAT. It's time to support companies that love America and share your values. patriotmobile.com/PAT or 972-PATRIOT. I hadn't heard that part of the song before, had you?
No.
Must be the extended version.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, and a remix or something going on over there.
Yeah, something's going on. I don't know what.
I don't know.
It's crazy. Got some tweets here. Cougar fan Trucker Guy tweets, can't someone take the baby away from that possessed mother who wanted to abort the child? The left will come after guns, but the baby is definitely in danger by the mother. Antisocial butterfly Trudeau makes me happy I live in the United States.
Yeah.
Sons of Thunder 42. Well, we get to see Canada burn before the U.S. follows suit.
It's looking that way.
It does look that way. Canada, Australia. We're not far behind, though.
Death of the West, as Pat Buchanan once called it.
Depressing. You know what's not depressing? Went to saw Top Gun over the weekend.
Oh, cool. I got to see this.
And it actually is really, really good.
I'm reading nothing but
really
great things about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. The thing about Tom Cruise is he knows how to make a good movie. I mean, how many bad movies has Tom Cruise made? I think we've talked about this before. He makes almost only good movies. Can you think of a bad Tom Cruise movie?
Has he done stuff before?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Tom Cruise?
He has.
Huh.
Let's see. He's got Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning parts 1 and 2 coming up. I bet those are good. Part 1 looks really good. I've seen the trailer. Of course, Top Gun Maverick was great. Mission Impossible Fallout, liked it. American Made, didn't see it. The Mummy was terrible. That was not a good movie. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, was pretty good.
Oh yeah, both of them.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation was good. Edge of Tomorrow was good. Oblivion, Jack Reacher. Rock of Ages I did not see, but I heard that was bad. Okay, so that's 2. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Night and Day was really fun. Valkyrie was brilliant. Tropic Thunder, I don't think I saw it. Lions for Lambs, don't think I saw that either. Mission Impossible 3, War of the Worlds, Collateral, The Last Samurai. Okay, I could live without that one.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Powers and Goldmember, Tom Cruise was in that? I didn't remember that. Minority Report, probably one of my favorite movies. Vanilla Sky, Mission Impossible 2, Magnolia, jeez. Eyes Wide Shut, maybe not great. I didn't see it, but I heard.
I've heard nothing but terrible things about it. Like, I'm scared.
Okay, so that's, 3 out of, 40?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Maguire, one of my favorite movies of all time. The original Mission Impossible. Then you got Interview with the Vampire, probably not one of his better ones. But The Firm, A Few Good Men, those are classics.
Mm-hmm.
Far and Away, Days of Thunder, okay. Born on the 4th of July, I think was an Academy Award nominee, if not the winner. Rain Man is great.
Mm-hmm.
Young Guns, Cocktail, Color of Money, Top Gun, the original. All the Right Moves, Risky Business, The Outsiders. I mean, the guy's had quite a career.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it. I was really concerned, too, at one point in the movie that maybe he wasn't going to make it. And then I thought,
what are you doing?
I'm not saying whether or not he did. I'm just saying the thought occurred to me, though, that he needs to be around for Top Gun 3 36 years from now. He'll still only be 95.
Okay.
So, no, that's not a spoiler. I'm not saying he did make it. I don't know. He might have. He might not have. It was just my thought as I was worried about him.
Okay.
There's got to be a Top Gun 3 36 years from now. Get off me.
Get off. 36 years from now. Okay, so
it'll only be 95.
In his recliner.
Yeah, he's 95, so.
I could fly like that right
Oh,
now.
that's bumming it.
Thank you.
Guy's 60 now. Or just about 60. I think this summer he turns 60. Crazy, isn't it?
Looks good.
Yep.
No homo.
Yeah. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. All right. You know, we've all been conditioned to believe certain things about our retirement investments. You got to go into the stock market, right? You have to risk everything you own in a volatile market like we're seeing right now. You actually don't have to. In fact, when you bank on yourself, it's a much better way to grow and protect your hard-earned money. This retirement plan alternative has never had a losing year in over 160 years. Tell me the market that has done that. Tell me the stock market that has done that. 160 years of positive growth, that's just absolutely incredible. So what you get when you bank on yourself is guaranteed predictable growth and retirement income with no luck, skill, or guesswork required. In fact, Bank on Yourself has a 160-year track record, as I mentioned, of positive growth. You get a tax-free retirement. You'll know what your tax rate will be in retirement. 0 under current law, which protects you from the coming tax tsunami. And there's no volatility. Your plan doesn't go backward when the market tumbles. Both your principal and growth are locked in. Get that peace of mind. Maybe the best reason of all to do this is the peace of mind. You'll know the minimum guaranteed value of your plan on the day you plan to tap into it and at every point along the way. You can get a free report with all the details of how adding Bank on Yourself to your financial plan can help you take back control of your money. Just go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed. That's bankonyourself.com/unleashed.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Last week, the world's elite met at Davos, of course, in Switzerland. And here's a Canadian mountain man who recorded a message for Justin Trudeau and the rest of the world's elite. I think you'll like this.
Good morning, Justin. I sure hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're hiding your cowardly ass. You know, I wanted to take a minute to discuss your good friend Klaus Schwab, the WEF, your intentions for this great reset, and how you're continually pushing things through. You don't give a about us folks, Justin. You've got your own agenda. You're running around at Klaus's feet like a little dog waiting for an attaboy cookie, screwing Canada and everybody that lives here while you're doing it. So guess what, boys? I see a great reset coming. I see millions of people across this world getting really pissed off with the likes of you. And we're going to stand up and tell you all to go yourself.
Yeah.
People, we have the power. These boys can mandate all they want, tell us to do whatever they want. We can tell them to it off, too. And it's about time that we all started doing that. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to push on anybody's fence. I don't want to bother anybody. I want to live out my life looking after all these crippled horses. But I'm sick and tired of standing back watching this happen. So let's get together, people. Let's all stand up. I don't give a who you support or what ethnic group you're from. Let's stand up together as people of this world and say we've had enough of being told what to do by the few. I love each and every one of you, and I hope that your life is full of adventure, love, and happiness. But we got to set things aside for a few minutes and straighten these out. Then we can get on with our lives.
Yes.
God bless each and every one of you.
Right back at you.
Boy, I
That's
like
just
that
good
message.
common sense right there.
That's a good message of telling the global elites to go make the sex with themselves.
Yeah, it is.
Man,
Yes,
they
it
need to
is.
hear that more often.
We do want to clear one thing up, though, because something was making the rounds over the weekend that just isn't accurate, that had been edited to sound like something it's not. From Davos, from a speech that the Pfizer CEO, Albert, what's his face? Bourla. Albert Bourla made, that he wants 50% of the world's population gone.
Oh, no, let's see this clip. Hold on.
By 2023.
I want to see this. Okay.
Yeah, watch this.
Okay.
And we also make the commitment that every year, as we discover and bring to the US or to Europe or to the world new medicines, automatically those new medicines will be inserted into the offer of the portfolio that we will offer into this country.
Okay, then what?
I think that it's really a fulfillment of a dream that we had together with my leadership team when we started in 19. The first week we met in January of 19 in California and to set up the goals for the next 5 years. And one of them was by 2023 we will reduce the number of people in the world by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming
the dream's becoming reality. And listen to Klaus.
Yeah, let's get rid of 50.
Listen to this.
3.5 billion people.
Listen.
I like
so
it.
It's really a purpose-driven company.
It is, a purpose-driven company.
Well, the purpose is to kill half of the world's population, obviously.
Which I don't necessarily put past Pfizer.
I don't either.
But that's not what he said.
That is not what he said.
What
They're
did
not
he
quite
say?
that open yet. Not quite.
What did he say?
And it hurts the cause.
Yeah, it does.
When people do this kind of crap. Here's what he actually said.
Dream that we had together with my leadership team when we started in 19. The first week we met in January of 19 in California, and to set up the goals for the next 5 years. And one of them
was what?
Was by 2023 we will reduce the number of people in the world that cannot afford our medicines by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming.
Wow, that's really bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Now, you know how you can always spot these deep fakes is that they blur the quality just enough so that when the edit occurs, you can't really see it jump because their mouth is a little blurred.
It's much easier to edit these when they're just audio. But because when it's video as well, you got mouth movement there that needs to go away.
But that's what I'm saying. They just lower the quality enough.
Right.
Yeah. But
right.
Be careful. Don't be spreading that stuff around, y'all.
I mean, it's not like I think this guy wants the best for us.
No,
I don't.
No.
But he did not say he wants to reduce the world's population by 50%.
Well, hold on a second. Let me help you there. He didn't say that on camera. Okay?
Right.
Put it that way. Yep.
And then you got to wonder what is going on with his neck in this interview.
This throat thing. What
this is kind of weird.
This is strange.
And now I think with this announcement, we are making this dream reality.
Watch his throat.
Many of your medicines we know from the COVID vaccine.
Hold on, Bullfrog.
The logistics around that vaccine are straightforward because of the technology. Many of your medicines
what is going on there?
Very effective.
I don't know. It's really weird.
Very effective. The logistics around.
That is really weird.
Okay.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust.
Okay.
Trying to sell your home can be really challenging, and so you need a realtor who really knows the business, really knows the market, and knows what you should do with your house in order to get it ready to sell. Maybe nothing, maybe quite a few things, but that's where the realtor comes in because they know what people are looking for when they're buying homes. So in order to sell your home in the quickest amount of time for the most amount of money, you need somebody who can help you through that process. And Real Estate Agents I Trust those are the agents who can do it. Whether you're buying or selling, or you're doing both because you're relocating, these agents will see you through that process from the day you interview them until the minute you sign on the dotted line. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray.
Oh, and the left is picking up on something Marjorie Taylor Greene said.
Oh, no. What's
over the
going on
weekend. There? Oh, she's the dumbest buffoon in the world.
Really? What happened?
I mean, listen, she does seem to say what they say she says. Like a peach tree dish.
Peach tree dish.
Instead of a petri dish.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you be the judge.
You have to accept the fact that the government totally wants to provide surveillance on every part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know when you're eating. Mm-hmm. They want to know if you're eating a
True.
cheeseburger, which is very bad because Bill Gates wants you to eat his fake meat that grows in a Peachtree dish. So you'll probably get a little zap inside your body.
Okay, so it grows in a peach tree dish. Is that what she said?
I guess.
Sounds like it, right?
Sure. What?
I don't know. Does Bill Gates have a stake in the fake steak world?
Oh, yeah.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
He's doing the fake meat?
Oh, he's doing everything you hate, he's doing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He's probably a, you know what? Here, I'll get you on board.
Which one of
He's a Utah Utes fan. What do you think of that now? Huh? Now how angry
Where do
are
you get
Bill
that?
Gates?
Where do you get that?
It's just out there.
It's just out there?
You just got to trust me on this one.
All right.
Seriously, everything that you hate, he is got his hand
in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's making these burgers in a peach tree dish.
Oh, I found one right here. That's what she's talking about. You can get this for $12.50 on eBay.
Okay.
It's a peach tree dish. That's what she was talking about. I found one.
There you go.
I found it for you there, Marjorie. I swear, the left.
It's a petri dish, but look, how many times have they ignored everything anybody on the left ever said?
Right.
Especially this stupid president that does it every day, but they don't say anything about it. Absolutely nothing about it. And then she says the least little thing, peach tree dish instead of a petri dish. And it's the worst thing in the world. She's the dumbest human being alive. Okay, I don't know. Have you heard the president of the United States? Have you ever listened to anything he has said?
And I agree with what Chairman Powell said last week, that the number one threat is the strength.
It's the strength.
And that strength that we built is inflation.
The strength that you built is inflation. Okay. So the strength that he built is inflation. That's not stupid. That's not dumb. Nobody talked about that. CNN didn't bring that up. Nobody brought that up.
That will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their ill-begotten gains.
Okay.
We're going to accommodate them.
They're going to accommodate them. No. We're going to hold them accountable, stupid, not accommodate them. And it's not ill-begotten, it's ill-gotten gains. I mean, they didn't touch this.
No. I mean, you could do this for days.
This was one of the worst things of all time from a president.
We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains.
I did it again.
Putin's kleptocracy.
Yeah.
This is the clip that keeps on
kleptocracy.
He nearly exploded there. He almost freaking exploded.
But these are bad guys.
So bad. So bad. And they don't pay a bit of attention to it. But Marjorie Taylor Greene says something, and oh my, what an idiot. Okay. All right. Thanks for your input. Maybe one day you could pay attention to what's going on in the White House. I don't know. Seems kind of important.
No.
But maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. Prices on almost everything at the grocery store are up, except rotisserie chicken.
Nice.
And here's why. Despite a 16.4% annual increase in chicken prices, rotisserie chickens remain at $4.99 at Costco. I love those too. Those are delicious.
So good.
They are really quality chicken. And it's always moist. It's always really quality. It's delicious. So it's $4.99 at Costco, BJ's Wholesale Club. I don't think we have that in Texas. And Sam's Club. And they cost a penny less than that. Huh. Maguire still sells rotisserie chicken for $5.99. Greedy bastards. While Giant Eagle has kept it at $6.99 and Publix $7.39.
Whoa, Publix, what's up, man? Nuh-uh.
No.
You doing that?
There's a strategy behind these stores' decisions to keep rotisserie chicken prices steady.
I love this.
And it signals a lot about how grocers are trying to manage inflation while still holding on to their shoppers. what they're doing, the rotisserie chicken is a prized item for supermarkets because it pulls customers into the store. You think, hey, you know what we can do? We can just do a rotisserie chicken tonight for dinner.
On the way home, yeah.
Yep. You just pick that up, you bring it home, you cut it up, and you eat it. Easy.
That's how it works.
Easy. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to wait. You don't have to warm it up. You just eat it.
Well, traffic's so bad that you will have to warm it
Well,
up
maybe.
by the time you get home.
You might. It's possible. But typically, customers will shop around and buy more than just a chicken for dinner when they visit.
Yeah, never make the mistake of going into a Costco or even a Sam's Club without grabbing a cart. Because if you think you're going in there and you're just buying the chicken and you're going to get right out, you're wrong. And that's what the story says.
Because it's in the back, so you'll see a whole bunch of things along the way that you need.
That's what they say there, yeah.
Companies want to stay competitive on rotisserie chicken prices and are willing to lose money selling them, even as production costs rise. It's called a loss leader for a reason. Stores can raise prices on other goods to make up for these losses. There's method to their madness. Once customers are in the store, they fill out the rest of their basket, which the store might make a higher margin on. What's more, shoppers know exactly how much of their rotisserie chicken meal costs, and they'll notice an increase. Oh, that's for sure. Like the price of a gallon of milk or a carton of eggs, the price of rotisserie chicken helps set consumers' overall perception of a store's value.
Yeah. And that story, it talks about how they put the chicken in the back. I noticed, because they make you walk through and pass all the other stuff, right? But I've noticed Walmart used to put them up the front.
Yeah,
And
I've seen
then
that.
Walmart must have read a story like this. It was like, oh, crap, Costco got us again.
That's a good idea.
Put them in the back. So there you go.
Perhaps no chain is linked more closely to its rotisserie chickens than Costco. It's probably true. Which has priced them at $4.99 for more than a decade.
Oh.
That's a good price. $5 for a whole chicken like that. It's really good. And they sold 106 million of them last year.
Oh, wow.
106 million times 5.
And 90 million of those went to the Malinak household.
And the rest went to my household.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a $530 million right there. And they're losing money on that? Yeah, I doubt it. I really do doubt it.
You doubt it?
Costco places the chickens at the back of the store, hoping that customers, just as we said, will pick up on items on impulse as they pass pallets of merchandise on their way to the rotisseries.
Yeah, think of all the clothes and the books and the patio furniture you pass on the way back there. Grab those. So, okay, so that's good. They're keeping it steady at $4.99. They're losing money. But that's going to become a big challenge because there was just a massive fire in Minnesota that killed tens of thousands of chickens over the weekend.
Another fire at another food farm. The fire happened late Saturday night at Forsman Farms in Stockholm,
Minnesota.
Stockholm, Minnesota. Okay. It started in one of the chicken barns that also held a large amount of Andy Maguire manure.
Wow, that's an interesting tidbit to the story there. Okay. Andy.
It wasn't really Andy Maguire manure. It was just manure.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. The product is called... What?
It started in one of the chicken barns.
I got it.
That also held a large amount of, and then there's a space.
Oh.
And it says Andy Maguire. And then the next word is manure.
It printed up weird?
For some reason.
Or is that the name of the... Boy, I would hate to go through life knowing that there's a manure out there named after me. Hey, my name's Andy Maguire. Oh, the poop guy.
Right,
okay.
right.
Yeah, I know you.
Other nearby buildings were damaged as well. The Wright County Sheriff's Office estimates there were 200,000 chickens estimated inside the building when the fire started, but they could not say how many of the birds died.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Why does this keep happening? What is going on? And nobody's talking about it. How are the mainstream news outlets not saying, wow, there have been a lot of fires at a lot of food warehouses and farms? What is it, 25 now, 30 in the last year? It's outrageous, and something is going on. This is not a coincidence.
Keep an eye on your rotisserie chicken price.
Yeah,
seriously.
See if it goes up beyond $4.99.
Yeah, and also take a look at the current price of Andy Maguire manure, see if that starts going up too. Because
it's a special brand of it's the high end manure.
Is it?
Yeah. So that
if they
probably
were on
will
fire,
go up.
were those flaming bags of poo then?
Yeah, and it probably didn't smell very good either.
Yikes! Oh,
would be
could
my
you
guess.
imagine being a firefighter on the scene there
With the Andy Maguire manure fire? No. I can't imagine it.
That's rough, dude.
I don't want to imagine it. Yeah, that's
So
bad.
we'll see what happens with the price of eggs and
We'll see.
chicken. They were already going up. Well, everywhere except Costco. But not good. Not good at all.
No, indeed. It is not good. Now, last week, the New York Yankees went woke.
Oh, yeah.
With some gun violent tweets.
Yeah, and during the game with the Rays were doing the same thing with these stupid gun tweets.
One of them read, from the New York Yankees, each year more than 4,100 Latinx people die from gun violence in the U.S., and 13,300 are shot and wounded. There it is right there.
Okay.
So a congressman responded to the Yankees with a tweet that says, "I represent the South Bronx, home to the Yankees. Never heard anyone locally use the term Latinx.
All right.
Does a majority of Hispanics actually use the term Latinx? Of course, we all know the answer to that is no. If the answer is no, how did Latinx come to be the term to use in government and corporate America?"
All right. So the Yankees go woke, and the congressman says, "Okay, I'll see you're woke." I love that.
So great.
I'll call you on that.
And it was Richie Torres. So he himself may be Hispanic based on the name.
Sure,
I would say.
I'd say that's a safe
So
bet.
he's got every right to ask about that because, he's in the community.
Yeah, and he's a Democrat calling out the woke. I love it.
Had a white guy done that, they'd be beaten to death.
Sure.
But it wasn't a white guy, fortunately. And now this from the Detroit Tigers. The money that the Detroit Tigers fans regularly give to the organization through ticket sales may not have yielded a quality on-field product in years. But some of it will now benefit local LGBTQ groups, which support irreversible trans surgeries for children. Oh, how wonderful. Nate Hockman of National Review recently explained that those who purchase tickets for Pride Night this year have the option to support groups such as the Trans Sisters of Color Project and the Ruth Ellis Center, which both directly or indirectly provide gender-affirming surgery to those under 18. The Trans Sisters of Color website refers to trans minor rights and boasts that its funding recipients perform chest reconstruction and or genital reassignment surgery, while the Ruth Ellis Center offers transition care for transgender youth, including surgery. The center further claims that there are a lot of barriers, especially for people under 18, that still exist for accessing puberty blockers and gender-affirming hormones.
Good.
This is a huge problem, they say.
So if you bought a ticket and you gave money to this group,
you could be turning a young person who hasn't even gone through puberty yet into a different gender. Congratulations.
Boy, what a sick world here.
No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, we got overtime coming up. We'll see you then.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.